politicians and...
And breaking tonight, the House, we're now told, will meet at any moment, and they will vote on this deal to raise the debt limit and to reopen the government. But lawmakers did not do anything about reducing the $17 trillion debt, which is growing by the minute. And along the way, Washington found a little extra cash for the family of the late Senator Frank Lautenberg. Congress cutting a $174,000 check for a family that is worth more than $50 million. So why did you need to pay that money to the $50 million family? Joining me now, Fox News contributor and radio talk show host Monica Crowley and Democratic strategist Bernard Whitman. I want to start by saying it is clear, as I read the law, that the Lautenbergs were entitled to this money. It was a death benefit that was essentially paid to him for his service. It's also clear they didn't need the money. And it's a question about why they had to put it in this bill, which is already so controversial. And what was it doing in there? And what else is in there, Monica?
Well, and this is the unanswered question. What else is buried in this that they're passing in the dead of night yet again? Look, he was entitled to this, but that's not really the point. The point is that we are now living in such an entitlement society that Senator Lautenberg's widow actually is taking the money. Where is her personal responsibility to say, yes, he was entitled to this, and the Congress may be voting to allow me to have this money, but you know what? I'm just going to say no to this because I have enough money. Where is
he gets $174,000 because that was
American?
the salary that he was making at the time he died, and that money has been paid to widows of other lawmakers.
But you know what, Megan, you've been talking about the $17 trillion debt. You have this huge graphic up with the debt clock spiraling upwards every second of every day. This is how we get to $17 trillion in debt. Well, you can talk about $174,000, and really in the whole scheme of things, that is like spitting into the ocean. But that's how you get into this kind of mess, because nobody takes personal responsibility and starts to say no.
You want to talk about means testing? We're talking about where is the discussion about entitlement reform? They can't get means testing on the table for, you know, senior citizens and for Social Security or Medicare payments. They can't even get means testing for the congressman and death benefits. This guy worth $50 million, and we just paid him almost $200,000.
You know what it underscores? It underscores the complete dysfunctionality of the United States Senate, whether it's rules and decorum that requires us to pay incredibly multimillionaire rich widows $174,000, or rules that allow one senator like Ted Cruz a few weeks ago to monopolize the Senate and basically shut down the government's business. The Senate needs to reform itself. We need to bring the Senate into the 21st century. We can no longer allow a senator here or a senator there to keep the entire public's business captive in order to go on stage for 23 hours. The Senate rules have to be changed, and this is one of them.
Ted Cruz kicked it off, but then it went over to the House, and then there was a debate on principle, and some stood their ground, and the others did as well.
But the problem is it all got lumped together. So the debt ceiling debate got lumped in together with the continuing resolution debate.
That's the thing. It's like, where was the discussion about the debt? Look at the numbers. It wasn't even discussed. It was all about the government. Will it reopen? Will it not? And now we have this great solution. Oh, it's going to be kicked to February 7th.
Hold on,
Happy
Megan,
Valentine's Day. Here you go. Here's your present. $17 trillion.
This is not the time to discuss how to deal with the debt. The debt ceiling is about agreeing to pay bills you've already incurred. We need to have serious discussion about entitled reform, not when we're reaching the limit of actually being able to pay and potentially default on our agreements and our commitments. But we need to actually have serious conversations. I know my viewers are watching you, listening, and saying, yes, we do. But we don't. We never do. We tried. The Congresswoman Sanchez was talking about Simpson Bowles. That was great. They had the whole commission. I say
bring
back
Simpson
Simpson Bowles.
Recommendations. And you know what they did with their great recommendations? This is what they did. They said, oh, thank you. See you, Simpson Bowles. Well, how's it going to change this time around?
Yeah, no, exactly. And look, the problem is,
so somebody could just.
The problem is you have leftist ideologues on the one side, and then on the other side you've got some cowards with some exceptions. And so this is why you get into these situations where it never gets solved, and you never get a taking on.
And then the Republicans, when they come up on a
issues.
deadline like this, have tried to make that the stakes. Like, okay, you need to bargain with us, but they don't.
And
they
don't
won't do
have.
it.
And unfortunately, we do not have a speaker. We do not have a speaker that can control his conference.
It's not about the speaker.
Fundamentally,
this is about the president.
All right, I gotta go. Wait, I gotta go because we're coming up against a hard break, and they are about to have this vote in the House. We're going to go there. Monica and Bernard and the House vote on the other side of this break.
Monday, October 21st, 2013, to file a report.